Sees a lamp, does he have to fly into it?
It's probably pretty tempting.
Welcome to Probably Real, a podcast where we talk about our favorite conspiracy theories and cryptids.
I'm Aislinn J.
And I'm Trinity Amethyst.
Welcome, fellow believers.
And welcome, fellow skeptics.
So,
today's a special episode.
This is our first episode.
Yeah, and also our 10th.
And also our 10th.
How does that work, you ask?
Well, one special day we decided to start a podcast. And we recorded a lovely podcast about the Titanic and Mothman.
Yes, we did.
And unfortunately,
everything went wrong.
Everything went wrong. And so the recording was compromised, and we come back again like a phoenix from the ash.
Like a phoenix from its ashes. Yes, we are here to re-record our Mothman and our Titanic episode.
Our first episode again.
I don't know about Aislinn, but speaking for myself, it's been long enough that I literally remember none of what we talked about.
Right after we did it, I remembered nothing because I was so scared. I think half the time I probably wasn't even listening. I was just like, I forgot everything right after you said it.
To be honest, I think we were just so freaked out and panicky about starting a podcast and people actually listening to it that we just sort of botched the whole thing. So I'm kind of glad that it got terminated so viciously.
I remember it broke into 211 pieces and wouldn't play separately.
It did!
It hurt so bad.
And it all played at once and it was horrible. But anyhow, so we're back.
Without further ado,
let's get to Mothman. So, Mothman is a West Virginian cryptid, mostly seen from November 12th of 1966 to December 15th, 1967. So we've got kind of like a whole year of, holy heck, Mothman. Here he is in West Virginia.
Gosh golly.
Gosh golly indeed. So the generally accepted first Mothman sighting was by 5 grave diggers near Clendenin.
It's all coming back. I have flashbacks.
Did me messing up the word Clendenin?
You did it the first time too, I remember that.
History repeats itself.
Clendenin.
Clendenin. I did not say that right, but just...
Clendenin.
Work with me, guys. They reported, these gravediggers, reported seeing a man-like figure flying from the trees above them. So that would be a sucky job. Like, you're digging a grave.
You're like, it already sucks, because you're like, I'm digging holes for dead people. And then here comes one flying.
I bet you'd think it's like a ghost or something.
I would.
You're just like, this is recompense.
What if it was a ghost?
This whole time. Oh my gosh. What if this whole thing started because these 5 gravediggers accidentally disturbed the grave of someone, and that's what Mothman is a ghost. A very upsetty spaghetti ghost.
I know him, Mothman. This is also a conspiracy, guys, that we just made up. Mothman is a ghost.
That's our new theory. That actually wasn't one of the explanations or theories, so now it is. I'll add it to the list. Is ghost. Okay, it's there. 3 days later, on November 15th, 2 couples saw the creature in Point Pleasure, West Virginia, while driving. The creature apparently followed their car and had eyes that glowed red in the headlights, and they claimed that the creature was a large man with a 10-foot wingspan.
Yes.
I can't imagine. How would you recover from that?
From seeing Mothman?
From seeing a large man with a 10-foot wingspan. Yes.
Lots of therapy.
Yeah, probably. After the first 2 sightings, things kind of got a bit out of hand. 2 firefighters, volunteer firefighters, claimed, apparently that's an important detail.
Volunteer firefighters?
That's what it said. Claimed to have seen him. A contractor named Newell Patridge says that he saw it and that its eyes were like bicycle reflectors. Basically everyone in this whole little town and a lot of West Virginia was just yelling about Mothman. Here he is.
Yeah, bicycle reflectors.
Yeah, maybe it just was bicycle reflectors.
There's a couple out biking.
Everyone's been freaking about Mothman, so he's just like, that's Mothman. It's just 2 people on a bike. So, as the sort of pinnacle of this cryptid's tale, on December 15th, 1967, the Silver Bridge collapsed and killed 46 people. And after that, rumor got around that Mothman had actually served as a warning for for the bridge collapsing, or that he actually caused the bridge to collapse himself.
I feel like he was just trying to do a good, you know? He was trying
to be a good cryptid. The only good cryptid.
I feel like he is just he's
benevolent.
Like, yeah, you know? He's just trying to be out here doing his best.
He's just looking out for the fate of humanity.
I remember telling you last time that every time I think of Mothman, I think of cake, like birthday cake.
I remember hearing this, and I do not remember the explanation. Why do you think of birthday cake, Aislinn?
I don't know why. Every single time, like, Mothman is brought up, birthday cake, and I think it's because I don't even remember. I think I was reading about someone was having a birthday, like some teenagers. No, or I was talking about how it was his birthday.
Yes, you said that he was just trying to celebrate his birthday.
Yeah, and then everyone freaked out.
Everyone was just leaving. He was just trying to have a good birthday party.
Why do I associate him with birthday cake of all the things?
It's a sign.
It's on my birthday, maybe I'll see. On your birthday, maybe we'll see Mothman.
My birthday's coming up and Mothman better
This
be
one's
there.
almost 18 years old.
Yep.
You're almost illegal.
Wait, what?
What?
Did you say I'm almost illegal or I'm almost illegal?
Illegal.
Oh god. Yep, I am. Anyhoodle.
Let's get back on track.
Back to any sort of semblance of a podcast. Recently, people have started claiming to see Mothman in Chicago, which I hear is actually like kind of ticking off some West Virginians.
Oh.
But recently there were 55 reported sightings, and the creature was described as a large black bat-like being with glowing red eyes. So, kind of fits the description.
Maybe there's two of them.
Yeah.
Multiple Mothmen.
It's kind of interesting because the first Mothman's described as like a man with big ol' wings, but this one's like a giant bat.
One's a vampire.
Which one?
It's the one more human-like.
Okay, so the original Mothman's a vampire.
Yes.
So all we need to do is just throw some seeds at him.
Yes, mustard.
Mustard seeds. Sorry, I forgot the specifics.
Yeah, it's important. You can't throw freaking sunflower seeds out there. He'll count them too fast. He won't even be distracted from them. Like,
no, he'll look down and it's just like da-da-da-da. He counted them already.
He's like, excuse you, did you think this would stop me?
Your weak seeds can't stop me. Nothing can stop me.
For I am Dracula, and my alter ego is Mothman.
Oh god, he's cosplaying. Some explanations, or theories.
Some theories that we have.
No, we're saving ours for last.
Okay.
So, some explanations and theories is that he's an alien or some other undiscovered species. I mean, I don't know why an alien would warn us about a bridge, but I mean, like, maybe it's a very benevolent alien.
Yeah, maybe they care.
Maybe they care.
Aliens have hearts too, maybe.
We don't know their biology.
I don't know their anatomy.
Some undiscovered species, I find. Before the Chicago thing, I wouldn't have given that one any thought, you know, because it's like, well, you know, Mothman, it was only like a year of sightings. But now it's like Chicago too, maybe. Who knows? Skeptics say that it's a large owl, possibly a barn owl, which makes sense because they're very big, and I would be spooked
10
too.
feet big?
Not 10 feet big. None of these are 10 feet big.
Some people have wild imaginations.
That's what I was gonna say. What was the giant bat, Aislinn? What was the name of the giant bat? I feel so bad. I presented this cryptid.
Oh no.
Oh, the Ahul.
Oh, duh, the Ahul.
What if Mothman is just an Ahul?
Oh my goodness. He could be so many things.
Honestly, Mothman just is every cryptid in my head.
Yeah, like he could be a vampire. He could be an Ahul.
Maybe he's a chupacabra, who knows?
Maybe he's a Wendigo.
Yeah, we're just going through every episode we've done, just checking off the cryptid.
Let's just go through a memory book.
That's what this 10th episode's for.
I know, first episode again.
Yeah, first episode, part 2. The Mason County Sheriff, George Johnson, blamed it on a large heron that he called a shitepoke.
George Johnson sounds like a fake name.
It does!
If I freaked out and someone's like, what's your name? I'd be like, George Johnson. And it's so funny. Every single time I make up a fake name, it's always Johnson. Last name is always Johnson.
Wow, you were just one step away from being George Johnson. Maybe you're the sheriff.
No.
A kind of interesting explanation to me is wildlife biologist Dr. Robert L. Smith from West Virginia University said said that the descriptions of Mothman fit the sandhill crane, which just so happens to be as tall as a man and have a 7-foot wingspan, which is pretty close to the 10-foot wingspan, and states that the bird might have just wandered off its migration route.
That's plausible.
It's plausible. My only issue is, though, how are they measuring height? Because if you're counting its long neck, then I don't think... I mean, like, yeah, it may have been as tall as a man, but also the descriptions of Mothman weren't... Yeah, he had a really short torso and a neck like a crane.
And red glowing eyes don't fit.
That's true, too, but that could just be fear.
Yeah, you're right.
And if it's like headlights, maybe brake lights
Reflecting,
got in
yeah.
there and it was just reflected off red and they're like, spooky. And the final theory, which I just typed a couple minutes ago, is that Mothman's a ghost. And that's our theory.
1, Mothman is a ghost. 2, he's a vampire. 3, he's the Ahul.
4, he's every cryptid. All of them.
Or 5, all cryptids are Mothman.
Isn't that the same as 4?
No.
Okay.
It's different, okay? Because either a vampire's seen as Mothman or Mothman is seen as a vampire.
Got it. So this
Okay.
is kind of like an all squares are rectangles, not all rectangles are squares situation.
But they're still different.
Got it.
No, imagine
Wait.
if Mothman is every cryptid.
Okay.
Now, every cryptid is Mothman are really different.
Those are very different now that I really have to think about it. Like a good squint my eyes and sort of just ponder that for a
Just
bit.
take a good 5 minutes, have some tea, and contemplate the difference of Mothman is all cryptids. All cryptids are Mothman.
What a way to spend the day.
Sounds like my kind of day.
Oh, I bet.
Okie doke. This is one of my favorite conspiracy theories. That's why I wanted to do it first, because I was like, this is so good. Everyone's going to be so in love with this conspiracy theory.
And then the
don't
episode
worry,
died.
it's going to be so much better now.
Hopefully. I remember almost none of how it was the first time, so...
I don't know if you've heard of this famous ship. It's called the Titanic.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds kind of unfamiliar. The what now?
Titanic.
Is that how that's pronounced?
I think so. I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Maybe.
I wonder.
It's not like anybody's heard of this ship before or anything.
Not like it's the most popular ship ever in history. Anyway, let's get serious. This is some serious biz right here. Because we're talking about insurance, okay? This is potentially the biggest insurance scam in history, okay? Okay, maybe it's not the biggest, but at the time it would have been the biggest insurance scam in history,
It's
okay?
a pretty big insurance scam.
I know. It's bad. So,
Let's delve in.
now, the Titanic is part of a ship company. Is that what they're called? A ship company?
I don't know. I don't know boats.
The ship company is what I'm gonna call it. It's the White Star Line. So they had 3 ships. It has the Olympic, the Britannic, and the Titanic.
That's a lot of icks.
Yeah, that's their thing, I guess. The Titanic sunk, and now we wonder why. Because it was the unsinkable ship, like, what the heck, man, you weren't supposed to sink. It was a clear night, and the people who, inspected the boat and stuff, they said that if it did sink, it should have taken at least, it would have taken longer, it would have taken more hours or even days. It should have taken way longer for the ship to sink. So everyone's like, what in the frickin' heck?
That's sketchy, yeah.
JP Morgan is the person who runs he's the main investor in the White Star Line, just so you know. So anyways, the Olympic was built in 1910. That's 2 years before the Titanic. So, little thing about the Olympic, it got in a huge collision with a Royal Navy warship, and it was blamed for it. So the Olympic was at fault, and it would have caused the entire White Star Line to go bankrupt. So this is the theory, right? JP Morgan, or this is the the theory. JP Morgan and some of his buds concocted this little plan that they would switch the Olympic and the Titanic because if the Titanic were to sink, they would get heck a ton more insurance money. So they were like, we're gonna sink it. They had the SS Californian and the Samson with them so that they could bring enough people and everyone should have been fine, right? But the plan went wrong, obviously.
Clearly.
So they had SS Californian, the Samson, and the Titanic. So the Samson's in between the Californian and the Titanic. Now, the Californian thought that the Samson was the Titanic.
Oops.
And the Titanic thought the Samson was the Californian.
Oops.
So, someone on the Californian fell asleep and they basically messed up the entire plan.
Good job. This is why you need to get your proper hours of sleep, drink some coffee, move around, don't get too comfy.
It's only saving thousands of people's lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No biggie.
Now, let's get to some evidence, shall we? The Olympic got in a crash, leans to the left after that, right?
Oh, the ship leans to the left.
The
after
ship,
it got
the
in its
Olympic,
crash.
leans to the left. People are quoted talking about how the Titanic was leaning to the left.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like that. Anyway, they have the same number on the ship too, like when they found the Titanic. I think it was 401 was the ship number on the Olympic. And guess what else it was on?
The remnants of the Titanic.
Whoop-de-freaking-do, right?
Big ol' surprise there.
The Olympic has 16 portholes and thin, unevenly spaced windows, right? Now, the Titanic's super new and flashy, and it has 14 portholes, and the windows are nice and wide and evenly spaced. But on the day that it was getting ready to sail, someone took a picture, and you know what the picture has? It has 16, actually. So, yeah, what the heck, right? And then the SS Californian and the Samson, who it was weird that they were there in the first place.
Yeah.
Guess what they had on their ships?
Life vests and spare boats and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely no people. First of all, no passengers.
Oh.
And they just had blankets and sweaters. And such, right? And you're like, excuse me, what are you telling me? Anyway, I love this conspiracy so much. I'm so sorry. Before the ship, the Titanic, quote unquote, because it was probably the Olympic, before the Titanic went off, a bunch of people canceled, including, guess who? JP Morgan, the guy who freaking made up the plan. And guess what most of the people were that canceled? They were his friends. They were his buds. Okay? Tell me why. Tell me why.
Sketchy.
So that Titanic sinks and they get their insurance money, and JP Morgan also helped found like Chase Bank and stuff, and you're like, excuse me?
How could you get away with this?
Honestly, it's potentially the biggest insurance scam of that time. Like, it's crazy. There's so much.
I want to say no. There's no way. But like, people are just that garbage.
People are shady. And in his defense, I guess, they did have a plan to help people and save them. Like, they had a plan, but it's still insurance fraud. Like,
yeah. Well, and not only that, but there's like no way they could have saved everyone.
Exactly. Like, let me just barge onto an iceberg.
Yeah, we'll save a lot of them.
We'll save most of them, you know?
Well, and a lot of people got trapped inside the ship as it sunk. It wasn't like everyone got out into the ocean and just froze to death.
Yeah, a lot of people were still on the ship, so you're like, congratulations, you messed up. I think I said congratulations.
Either or.
Congratulations, guys.
And he got his money.
Yeah, what do you think about this?
I don't know. It's pretty big. It's a big conspiracy.
Yeah, it's kind of a leap. Like, I don't want to believe it.
I don't want to. I kind of do, though.
I kind of do. I'm so passionate about this conspiracy theory.
Well, it's like people are just bad enough that, like, yeah, I could see it. I could see someone committing insurance fraud in order to save their dying business, like, and risking the lives of thousands of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like humanity.
Oh, that hurt my heart. Sounds like humanity.
Sorry.
Oh, I could believe it though. And there's so many other things that were inside, like the decorations were different and stuff, but then they were like switched. And it's just...
I mean, it makes sense. They wanted to get rid of this crappy boat anyways.
I know. They were like, let's just...
Switcheroo.
Yeah. I was like, wow. Ouch. And it would have been easy. It would have been easy. Because there's... People don't take pictures like la-di-da.
No. And back then, especially not.
Yeah.
It's not like everyone was running around with a smartphone like nowadays.
I know.
It's a lot harder to get caught on things like that.
Exactly. That's why no... Oh my gosh.
Oh, should I? I don't think I should answer this. Should I answer this one?
No.
No? Okay,
Never
just
answer
stop.
telephones when you're by yourself.
Oh god, you're so right. I don't feel like I'm by myself, but you're right.
But you are. We're all alone in this world.
Oh no.
I was gonna say, it's the same time when people, like, didn't care about their kids. They just kind of let them do whatever.
Like with the Dover Demon.
I'm still mad about that. I mean, I know it's not as safe, but I want to go run around and do whatever I want.
Don't want to get kidnapped.
My mom is nervous. Yeah, she's like, I don't want you to die, so let me live.
Let me join cults, Mom.
Dang it.
Thank you for joining us on our podcast today. We hope you learned... No, this is the second time I've done this. We hope you had a good time, or at least learned something new.
Or something weird.
Or learned
Well,
something
I mean, it
weird.
would be the same thing.
New and weird.
New and weird.
Either or.
I hope you learned something new and weird.
Our email is probablyrealpodcast@gmail.com. You can send us conspiracy theories or cryptids there. I think we have a couple that people sent in that we can do. But we want some more. Give us more.
We are greedy and we want to do all of them.
We're greedy girls. Give us your cryptids.
Give us the cryptids and the conspiracies, please.
Oh, yes.
Give us a review, please.
Every time you say that part, it's like it's a demand.
That was so mean. I'm so sorry. What I meant was, please give us a review. We really appreciate it. I'm sorry I sound so demanding.
Yeah, that's just how she is. Our Twitter is PropRealPodcast. You can send us conspiracy theories or cryptids there or whatever else. Just say
We
hi.
like talking to people.
We do.
Add us.
There was some really nice fan art on there the other day that made me and Aislinn scream.
I cried.
She did.
I mean, it wasn't like, yeah, I know I cried a lot. I'm like about to cry right now. There's no reason for this. Anyways, next topic.
She's way
Thank
too
you
flattered.
to Elise for making our theme music. I love it so much.
I do too.
Dun, 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 dun,
No,
dun,
stop.
dun, dun, dun.
You can find her work at HeyElise516 on Twitter or at her SoundCloud at Elise Haywood.
Elise Haywood.
And remember,
Mothman is every cryptid.
and don't fall asleep when you're trying to save hundreds of people.
Good night.